Good evening, everybody. So everybody come to join now. Do first. I need all of you. Join first. Am I audible to you all? Everybody give your response. Am I audible? Okay. So our first lesson today, the living world. Let's start our lesson. So the living world. So first started with the biology. So we can write that biology is the science of life. Life forms and living process. So now what is life and what is the characteristics of the living beings? So the highly organized cellular structure. So these are the characteristics. Number one, highly organized cellular structure. Number two, consciousness. Number three, growth and development. Number 4, reproduction and heredity. Metabolism and energy requirement. So increase in mass and increase in number of individuals are the twin characters of growth. So in the condition of growth, increase in mass and increase in number of individual are the twin characters of growth. Remember this one. But in this criteria, you can say the reproduction all the time, this is not the prime character of the living components. As you all know, many organisms do not reproduce. So can anybody give me the example, the organisms which are living organisms but cannot reproduce? The mules. Yes, Ankita, you are right. The mules, worker bees, and yes, infertile human couple. Infertile human couple. So these are the examples as they are living organisms. The mules, the hinny. Yes, Ashish, you are right. Sterile worker bees. Worker bees are always sterile. Their sex are, they are sexually female, but they are sterile. Very good, you all are. You are all giving the right examples. So stay with me in the whole lesson as usual. In the case of growth, the same thing we can observe there. You know the growth sometime in sand dunes, in crystallization, they also show the growth. So the non-living objects also grow. How they show this one? That is, you can give example, the surface accumulation. Surface accumulation of material. Are occurring in the non-living components also. So, growth is not a defining property of living organism. Keep it into mind. Growth is not a definite character or the definite property of the living organism. And in the same way, by this example, we can say that the reproduction is not a perfect defining property of the living organisms. Are you agree with me in this character, in these two properties? So, one is growth, another is reproduction. these are not the perfect defining property of living organism. So we can write they are not a perfect defining property of living organisms. So that's very important. Remember this one. So what is metabolism? So this is the sum total of all biochemical reaction taking place inside a living organism. These are the sum total. It is the defining feature. That is the defining feature of the living organism. Because metabolic reaction can be demonstrated outside the body. So, cellular organization, the cellular structure, the organized cellular structure, they are made up of one or more cells. So, it is the defining feature of the living organism. Consciousness, it is the ability of the organism to sense the environment and response to the environment stimuli. Environmental stimuli, you can give example like light, water, temperature, and the chemicals, the pollutants, all are there. These are the stimulant, environmental stimuli. And all organisms are aware of their surrounding. Every organism are aware about the surrounding. Yes, Ashish, you are right. So it is the defining property of the living organism. But among all the living organisms, we can write that human is the only organism having self-consciousness. That's present in human. So remember this one. Self-consciousness is only present in human. So now we can change our page. So are you completed all? Moving to our next part. So now we can do a small practice. Look at here. Give the answer. Here is a problem for you. Modes of reproduction. planaria, eastern hydra, fungi, filamentous algae, protonema of mosses, and hair fungi. Now A, B, C and D. Give the answer. Everybody give the answer. A. What is the answer of A? Keep answering. Very good. That is true regeneration. What is the answer of B? Yes, budding. What is the answer of C? What will be the answer of C? Give the answer. C for the fungi, the filamentous algae, the protonema of mosses. All are common. Yes, Kritagni, you are right. Very good answer. So that is fragmentation. And what is D? Yes, D spores. That is asexual mode of reproduction. That is spores. So moving to the next part. Very good answer, all of you. So diversity in the living world. Diversity in the living world. So what is biodiversity? Can anybody give me the answer? What is diversity? In very brief. Variation of species. Yes. So we can write the number and types. Yes, the numbers and types of organisms present on earth that refer to biodiversity. And the number of species, number of species 1.7 to 1.8 million. So now the taxonomy includes, so what is taxonomy? You all know who first used the term taxonomy? Can anybody tell me? Yes, A.P. de Candolle, not Linnaeus. The word taxonomy first used by A.P. de Candolle. So taxonomy is the process of classifying living organisms into different taxa. Into different taxa, and that includes characterization, characterization, identification, number 3 classification, and nomenclature. So what is characterization? So characterization, that is describing morphological, anatomical, physiological, and behavioral characteristics of an organism. Morphological, anatomical, physiological, and behavioral characteristic organism are under the characterization property of taxonomy. Next, the identification. So identification, always comparing between similarities and dissimilarities. Similarities and dissimilarities with already known ones. That is the identification. Classification, that grouping the organisms into categories, they are into categories on observable characters. They grouped into category. And then the nomenclature, that is nomenclature means the naming of organism, and the name should be unique and universal. And this naming is given by the organization ICBN. What is the full form? ICBN. I know you all know this one. ICBN, ICZN. These are the two organizations are concerned with. One for plant, the botany, and another is concerned with zoology. So everybody, am I audible to you all? Yes. Not Indian, Anonna. Anonna, it is not Indian. It is International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. Scientific name is worldwide matter. It's a worldwide concern. So that should be International Code of Botanical Nomenclature and International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. There are another naming also. International Code of Viral Nomenclature, International Code of Bacterial Nomenclature, and International Code of Nomenclature of Cultivated Plants. So these are all the organizations are collectively concerned with the nomenclature, or we can say the biological nomenclature or binomial nomenclature. So this binomial nomenclature, you all told the name of the Carolus Linnaeus. So he is the father of taxonomy. That is Linnaeus, Carolus Linnaeus. The binomial nomenclature is given by Carolus Linnaeus. Yes, Preeti, you are right. International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. So, father of taxonomy, Carolus Linnaeus, and binomial nomenclature is also given by Carolus Linnaeus. And scientific name having two parts. You all know this one. The two parts. The first is the generic name. And the second one is specific epithet. So that's the genus and that's the species. The two by name. So I think you all know the very good, Anusri. So there are some universal rules. You all know this one. The name should be taken from Latin language. So I think you all know what's the rule, why this is given as there, why it is taken from the Latin. Because it is taken as, this one taken as from, it is a dead language. So it is taken from Latin. All Latinified derived from Latin. And when these are in the printed, so that should be written in italics. And when it is handwritten, that should be underlined. When it is written in handwritten condition, and when in the printed matter, that should be italics. Always start the genus name. The genus name always start with the first letter is always capital. Capital letter, the genus. The first letter. Followed by the small letter. And the species is always written in small letter. And the name of the author is written in an abbreviated form at the end of the scientific name, the name of the scientist. So you know this one. That is Mangifera indica. And then the author in abbreviated Linnaeus, given by Linnaeus. So these are the universal rule. Sometimes the name is also trinomial nomenclature. You know this one. One of the example is in human, the Homo sapiens. Sapiens. That's the trinomial nomenclature. Yes, you all are giving good response. So that's the trinomial nomenclature. So first this is the genus name, that is the species name, and that is the subspecies. So that's the trinomial nomenclature. Now, so binomial nomenclature, the ICBN, ICZN, international codes, we are discussing some of the important features of the rule of binomial nomenclature. Now we are moving the taxonomic categories. So everybody should participate. Everybody participate into chatting, and any queries you can ask now. Now we are moving to the next part, the taxonomic categories. The taxonomic categories Classification yes, Megla, you can remember very good. KPCOFGS, you can remember this one. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. So classification involves hierarchy of steps in which each step represents a taxonomic category, or you can say taxonomic rank. All categories together constitute, all these categories together constitute the taxonomic hierarchy. So a group of organisms occupying a particular category, that's very important. You can note down this one. A group of organisms occupying a particular category is called a taxon. In plural, this one called taxa. So this category is called a taxon. Remember this one, a group of organisms occupying a particular category is called a taxon. That is class Mammalia. So each category or taxon represents a unit of classification. So how can we maintain this one? So if we write the taxonomy category in an ascending order, look, category, taxon. So use another color. First, kingdom. Then phylum, and in case of plant we can write the division. Next, class, then order, then family, then genus, and last one the species. So species to genus, genus to family, family to order, order moves class, class moves phylum or division, and there constitute the kingdom. So suppose we are citing one example. In case of species, that is sapiens, in genus Homo. So what is the family? Can anybody tell me? Hominidae. Yes, Anusri, you are right. Hominidae. Order, Primata. Class, Mammalia. And phylum, in place of animal, that is must be phylum. That is Chordata. And the kingdom, that's the Animalia. So from sapiens, Homo, Homo to Hominidae, Hominidae to Primata, Primata to Mammalia, Mammalia to Chordata, and Chordata under Animalia. So that is the taxonomic hierarchy in ascending order. So as we go higher from species to kingdom, the number of common characteristics goes on increasing or decreasing. One question for you. Give me the answer. When we go higher, from species to kingdom, from species to kingdom. So the number of common characteristics. So number of common characteristics, yes, you are right. So the common characteristics goes on decreasing. Very good. So remember this one. So now, so this type of frequently asked questions are, some of the question you can face this one. Look, give me the answer. In case of man, the organism with their taxonomic categories, we already described. That is, in case of man, that is from sapiens to Homo, Homo to Hominidae, Hominidae to Primata, from Primata to Chordata, from Chordata to Mammalia. Now in case of housefly, Give me. Tell me the answer. In case of housefly, the species is Domestica. Yes, Domestica to Musca. From Musca to Muscadi. From Muscadi to Diptera. From Diptera to Insecta. From Insecta to Arthropoda. Yes. Next one. That's one very important in case of mango. So started with Indica, Mangifera. From Mangifera to Anacardiaceae. From Anacardiaceae to Sapindalis. From Sapindalis to Dicotyledone. And from Dicotyledone to Angiospermy. Yes, Ritul, you are right. Next one. Wheat. In case of wheat, Estivatum, Estivatum to Titricum. From Titricum to Poaceae. From Poaceae to Poelis. From Poelis to Monocotyledone. And from Monocotyledone to Angiospermy. So very good, all of you. Man, housefly, mango and wheat. We are taking two from animal and two from plant for organisms with taxonomic categories. Now, the next part of our lesson, that is taxonomic aids. Yes, Preeti. In NCRT we know this one. The next example is Tulsi. You know this one. What's the scientific name of Tulsi? Preeti? Ossimum sanctum. So now moving to the next part, that is the taxonomic aids. So these are the procedures and techniques used to store and preserve information as well as specimens of various plants and animals. So these taxonomic aids, these help in identification, naming and classification of organisms. The first one, the taxonomic aids, that is herbarium. You all know this one? What is herbarium? So some important characteristics, we can note down this one. So it is the storehouse of collected plant specimens, collected plant specimens are dried, pressed, and preserved on sheets and then arranged systematically according to the universally accepted systems of classification. Yes, you all are giving the right definition and right categories of herbarium. And next point, herbarium sheet contains label, regarding date, place of the collection, scientific name, English and local and botanical name, family should be mentioned, the collector's name, date, etc. are written in the level that regarding this component. We are already written date in the first one, so date is written in the first. Now, so these are the components are written in the level on the herbarium sheet. So these informations so sometimes local language names are also given. This is why the English name, local name, botanical name, all are given there. So all these informations, so they serve as quick referral systems in taxonomical studies. So now the next category, the botanical garden. So botanical garden, so these are the specialized garden. These gardens, it is specialized that having collection living collection of living plants for reference and identification. Each plant in the botanical garden, I think you all observed this one, each plant is always labeled with the botanical name and family. These two things are always labeled in every plant in the botanical garden. The botanical name and below the family. Some famous botanical garden in Indian botanical garden, that is Howrah, and the Royal Botanical Garden, where it is situated. Kew in England. Indian Botanical Garden, Howrah, and National Botanical Research Institute, National Botanical Research Institute, that is in Lucknow. Yes, Preeti, you are right. Yes, Ashish, you are very right. It is in Lucknow. So next concern is the Biological Museum. The museums, so it is collected the preserved plants and animals for study and reference. In museum, the specimens are preserved in solution, in containers or jars. Some preserve dry specimen of plants and animals. And sometimes the insects are collected in insect box. Insects are collected in insect box. Here the process after collecting, then killing, and then pinning in insect box. There are some stuffed animals. You know this one? The stuffed larger animals like birds and mammals are also there. And collection of different animal skeletons. These are the things that are preserved in museum. These are the very important for study and reference. You know in which solution they are collected? Some specimens are collected in solution, and the solution is made up of, that is called formalin. They are collected in formalin solution. Yes, formaldehyde, formalin solution. The next taxonomic aid, that is the zoological park, or we can say zoo. So, zoological park. So, there is the place where the live wild animals, are kept in protected environment under human care. So, these animals helps us to learn about their food habits and their behavior also. So wild animals are kept protected in the environment under human care, and that provide opportunity for studying the behavior and food habits of the animal. Next concept is the key. So the key, it is the analytical method. It is analytical method of identification. All the words are very important for our MCQ. It's an analytical method, remember this one, for identification of organisms based on similarities and dissimilarities. This one, the key, is based on contrasting character. The contrasting character generally in pair. This pair of contrasting character, yes Ashish, very good. That's the spirit, very good you are. COUP C-U-P-L-E-T, couplet. Very good, all of you. Pooja, Anusri, very good. Give the right answer before asking me. So, couplet is the contrasting character, and each couplet has two opposite options. Of these, only relevant option is, so here are two options. One is accepted, another will be rejected. So each statement of this, so each of these statement is called the lead. Very good. So each of these, there is a pair, and the pair of contrasting character is called couplet, and in this couplet there is two opposite option, only one relevant option is accepted and another is rejected. So you can say each statement in the key is called lead. So very important to remember. Keep it into mind, that's very important. Many time asked question. That is key. Contrasting characters are called couplet, and each of these are called lead. Please explain about the rejection. Rejection means there are, when there are two characters, you see these are just on the basis of similarities and dissimilarities. When the characters are similar characters, and one character, that is, suppose in an organism wing is present, wing is present, another in contrasting character wing is absent. So you are giving two examples, one is bat, another is cat. So in where the wings is present among the bat and the cat, both are mammal, both are mammal. So the contrasting character in the bat, the wings are present, so that is the acceptable character, and wings accepted, wings is not present, that is rejected. Is it clear, Ashish? The contrasting character among the mammals, suppose you are differentiated between bat and cat, so both are mammal, one is associated with wing, the volant adaptive mammal, the flying mammal, another is the cat. Very good. So next, some other components are there. That is flora. What is flora? That is the actual account of habitat and distribution of plant species of a given area. That's the flora. Yes, Ankita. Now, manuals. So what is manual? the record that contains information for identification of names of species found in an area. That is the manual. Remember this one. The record that contain information for identification of names of species found in an area are called manuals. Next one, monographs. That is the records that contain information. Yes, Ankita. Very good. That contain information on any one taxon, monograph, and the another one, that is catalog. I think you all familiar with this one. What is catalog? So the alphabetical list of species. So manual help in the identification of names of various species, organisms in an given area. That is more appropriate. Monograph, that is detailed and well documented work, that record that contain the information, that means well documented work on any particular taxon. And catalog, that is alphabetical list of species. And the flora, that contain the actual account of habitat and distribution of plants in a given area. So we are almost discussed the prime points of our first lesson, the living world. Now so the questions arises from these parts. We will discuss according to our routine. So in 45 days we discuss all the chapters and the previous year's questions and some questions applicable for 2022 and 2023. So stay with us and like, share and subscribe to get the latest information all about biology of class 11 and then the 12 classes for all NEET aspirants of 2022 and 2023. So again, I am telling you to send information to all of your friends, those who are like to study in biology. So keep sharing and subscribe the channel. So that's the end of our lesson today. Thank you everybody. Good night. Keep study.